All right, here we go. Hurricane Chris, welcome to VladTV.
What's good, Vlad? This what you look like, huh?
This is what I look like, Wizard of Oz.
My son asked me the other day, what does a VladTV look like?
Well,
I don't know. You never seen one.
Well, now his dad knows. There we go. Well, you've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
And this is our first interview, so I want to start in the very beginning.
Okay.
So, tell me where you grew up.
I grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's a small town in Louisiana in a neighborhood called Cedar Grove. We lived on the east side of Cedar Grove, then we moved to the west side of Cedar Grove. And after that, it was to neighborhoods better. That's where it all started.
Okay, and the family structure, siblings?
Yeah, I had I was my mother's only child until 11 years ago. So I actually grew up as the only child with my mother. I got two brothers by my father, so they didn't live with us because my mother and father, they weren't together. So it was kind of like I see my brothers when I go to my dad's house type thing. When I'm at my mom's house, it was just me.
Okay, and did you and your dad maintain a close relationship?
Yeah, that's my boy. He getting over COVID right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Get the vaccine. Get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm vaccinated.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
There we go. Okay, so you're growing up, and I mean, being the only child with your mother, would you say that the family was struggling, or were you guys doing okay?
When my parents were together, it was better. When they separated, it was struggling. I guess my daddy was the breadwinner, so it was hard on my mom. When I was at my dad's house, it was all good. When I went to my mom's house, it was kind of like a struggle because she was trying to find her life again and get herself set back up. So, that's what it was. It was kind of like a seesaw. It was good over here and it was a struggle over here.
Well, you had mentioned in one of your interviews that your dad was doing some jail time. Was that younger or when you were older?
Actually, he went to jail when I was like, I would say 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old. He did 4.5 years for weed.
For weed?
For weed. For the same stuff that I opened a dispensary and did legally, he did 4.5 years for. And didn't even have 10 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what was that like being that young? I mean, you're not even a teenager yet, and suddenly your dad, who you're close to, suddenly goes away.
So I had a close relationship with my dad, and I knew everything. You know how most parents don't tell their kids everything. I don't even tell my kid as much as my dad told me. He told me everything. So one day, his girlfriend picked me up from school. She was like, I said, where my dad at? She never picked me up from school. I didn't even like her like that. He wouldn't even send her to pick me up. So I asked where my dad at. She was like, he went out of town. I'm like, what? My dad ain't never went out of town. I never even heard him say out of town in his life. So I'm like, nah, something wrong. I'm telling myself, nah, he would have told me he was going out of town. I'm talking about I get a hug and a kiss every night. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we got a close bond, you understand what I'm saying? Like, he gonna tell me everything. If he boo-booed and it was green, I'ma know. Like, straight up. So my stomach started hurting the whole way home. I got home and he wasn't there. So she said he was out of town. The next day, I got out of school. I went to my grandmother's house. I had a little cousin named Shakendra. I had a go-kart. Me and Shakendra was outside riding a go-kart. Every time we came inside of my grandmother's house, she would send us back outside. They was in the house on the phone trying to bum my dad out, come up with the money. So eventually, we was riding a go-kart and Shakendra, she like probably 5 years younger than me. She was like, I know something. Because she heard her mom talking about it. She was like, I'm supposed to tell you. So I asked her, I'm like, yo, what you know? So she's like, I know your dad in jail. So she told me. I ran straight in the house. When I ran in the house, I told my grandma, you ain't tell me my daddy was in jail. She hopped up. Shakendra, you big mouth, why did you say that? She got in trouble, got a whooping, and that's how I found out. I was heartbroken.
Okay, in the next 4 years, were you visiting him
Yeah, I went every week, probably once every 2 weeks or every week. It was a 4.5 hour drive. His sister and I, we went every week.
Wow, 4-hour drive.
Yeah, we went every week. I had to see my dad. Like the relationship, it probably got stronger because I understood how important he was at that point.
I mean, how was it when he got out 4 years later?
He was over controlling.
Meaning what?
He missed so much, he felt like he had to catch up. At this point, I've already used the tools and the knowledge that you gave me to mature myself and maneuver around the streets and learn what not to get involved in based on what you got involved in. So things that you thinking you got to come home and tell me, you don't got to come home and tell me. And that was kind of our headbutt when he first came home. He thought it was a lot he had to come home and save me from, but I was actually paying attention to what happened to him, and that's pretty much what saved me and made me focus on music.
Okay. And so he gets out, you're around 16 years old by this time.
Yeah, probably around like 16, 15.
Yeah. By this point, not having your father around, and Shreveport is a pretty rough area. Were you getting involved in the streets?
Nah, I was doing music. I was just like focused. I was doing shows. He went to jail. I was just beginning to rap. By the second or third year, he was in jail. I hooked up with local DJs and one of my homeboys began to get $500 a show, $600 a show. So I was already headed on the right path. You understand what I'm saying? So every time I talked to him, it was, I did a show. I did this. I went and did this weekend. I had crazy stories about stuff that was happening at concerts. And he would tell me, you gotta make sure y'all go in and go out and, don't linger around too long and stuff like that. But I was pretty much already on the right path. So it was just music for me.
Okay. And you started rapping at 10 years old?
Yeah, like 10
okay.
or 11.
Okay. So you start rapping at 10 and, you start high school, but you actually ended up dropping out in order to pursue rap?
Yeah. What happened was I got with these people that had money. They were investing in me, and they had a house right down the street from my high school. So I was torn with go down the street with these people with all of this money and drive these Jaguars and do rap music or go to school. I was torn. I think that led to me not putting as much energy as I should have put into school because I knew I had a way out. So when it got so frustrating from my mom with me not paying as much attention as I should have been paying, she was just like, you know what? Just go get your GED since you're so focused on music. So I went that route.
Okay. And I guess your mom wanted to be a rapper herself, so she kind of understood.
Yeah, she was a personality. She wanted to be a rapper, actor, everything. She had a live vibe.
Okay, so what age did you actually leave school?
I would say I left school at 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I left at 16. I went to the alternative school to get a GED, and I stayed there for I probably had to stay there for 6 months, and that was a wrap.
Okay, so you leave school at 16 to focus on music full time. How long after quitting school did the first kind of progress really start to set in?
I would say immediately, because what happened, I left school and the label that I was doing business with, the situation went bad. I dropped A Bay immediately, and that's when I signed my deal. The record labels flew into Shreveport, signed me immediately. So I was 16 when I signed my deal.
Okay, so let's talk about that song for a second. So was that one of your first songs, or, I guess you've been rapping for a while by the time that song came around.
Nah, A Bay wasn't my first song. That was a song I made that song when I was in a club I wasn't supposed to be in, drinking liquor I wasn't supposed to be drinking at an early age. And my homeboy, he was way older than me. We came from the same club, went to his house, and I just got on the mic and was just tripping, and that's how Hey Baby came about.
Right, and it's based on the DJ.
Yeah. We used to go to the
DJ.
club and get crunk and just scream, hey, 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 baby, hey, 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 hey. And I mean, I went straight from that club to the studio and put it on the record. Simple as that.
Okay. And did DJ Hollywood Bebe actually know that you were doing this beforehand or not really?
I called him as soon as I started recording it and told him I was doing it. And he told me, he was like, hey man, I got money. I just want the fame from this. And this is a good thing. So I hung up the phone and I pursued to finish the song, and the rest was history, man. Platinum, 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 platinum.
So you finished the song in the studio. And I mean, you've had other songs over the years, but when you made this song, were you like, okay, this is the one? Or it was like, this is cool, let's go on to the next one?
I kind of felt like it was the one. I don't know why, but I felt like it was the one for some reason. I don't know. I had that feeling. I don't know what the feeling is, but I kind of felt like this is a big song.
Yeah, I mean, it's so different. Like, I can't really compare it to anything else. It's not like a formalistic kind of song. It's just, different. It's unique. And I think that's why people really gravitated towards it.
It actually had to grow on me, to be honest with you. I didn't like it. I kind of wanted to get rid of the song, Hey Baby. When I found out they was putting the song out, I had a fit. I was like, nah, don't put that out. And the DJ that was putting it out, he was like, we already put it out. And that's how it happened. That's how I learned. It ain't always the song that you expect to pop that's gonna pop. Sometimes it's a song you don't even like.
Yeah, I mean, it's the people that choose the hits, not you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you recorded the song, but you're still independent at this point.
Yeah.
And you end up hooking up with Mr. Collie Park?
Collie Park flew into Shreveport when he heard this King Art, and DJ Funky, I think, were playing the record in Atlanta. And Collie Park heard it and flew straight into Shreveport with a contract. But the thing about this is, I didn't want to sign the contract. Now, Collie Park is my dude, and I would never want to take back any business that I did with him. But where I was mentally, I didn't want to sign the contract. What happened was, Collie Park flew into town. I had a show that night. When he flew into town, we had a business meeting the next day. Bebe came to me and told me, trust me and 3 Feet to make you a good deal, man. Just don't even think about this. Just trust us. So out of my love for him, I say, okay, go ahead and do your thing. I let him go ahead and we did the deal with Collie Park.
Yeah, and by this time, Collie Park had quite a resume. I mean, he had Soulja Boy. He had the Yin Yang Twins. He was like a certified hit maker by this time.
Yep. They had a lot to do with me signing too.
Yeah. Okay. So you signed the deal. I mean, was the deal good in retrospect or not so much?
It wasn't a good deal.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
It wasn't a good deal.
Okay.
It wasn't a good deal, bro. They ain't give me nowhere close to what they were supposed to give me.
Okay. So you signed this deal based on your man's recommendation.
Yep.
And now, well, you signed to Collie Park, but then it was signed to a bigger label as well, right?
Yep. See, Collie Park always kept it real. Collie Park didn't do nothing wrong. Collie Park took me where the major check was supposed to be provided. You understand what I'm saying? So he did his job. From there, it was up on Brian Leach at Polo Grounds. That's who he took me to.
Right, which was under J Records?
J Records.
Right, which is
he got his whole situation based off of Clive Davis. Clive Davis.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So yeah, J Records is Clive Davis.
I think he stepped down.
Was Clive Davis, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was really one of the absolute legends in the music industry. I mean, that's like Whitney Houston, I I mean, he's got a catalog that's insane.
Yeah.
Did you and Clive Davis ever interact at all or no?
Yeah, that's in order for me to sign my deal, I had to sit down at a table with Clive Davis, and I had to look at Clive and say, "What do you think about this?" And he was like, "Oh man." That's when they signed the check. And then I had to go to like a bunch of parties with Clive Davis, like parties that I didn't even understand. It was just like people that I didn't know who they were, just a bunch of like millionaires and billionaires and houses that didn't even look real. And Clive Davis used to tell me, just you stand right here, put his arm on my shoulder and say, "Don't move." Everybody come by, they take pictures. Gotta think I'm 16, 17, so this is still kind of strange to me. Right now, I'm like, "Yo, Clive Davis, I need to borrow $30 million. I got these apartments. We finna do 10 projects, and I'll bring this $30 million back to you tomorrow, man." I didn't realize how much I had to juice.
Oh yeah, and he really got money like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clive Davis, like I said, I mean, when you talk about the all-time great music executives, period, throughout history,
that's who helped P. Diddy.
Yeah.
That's who helped Diddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, but P. Diddy is one of hundreds that he put on.
Yeah, that's the OG.
Yeah.
He's a real OG.
Absolutely. Okay, so now you sign to a major label and they start pushing the song out nationally and the song starts to take off.
Yeah. Actually, the song was buzzing. It was buzzing. I'm from Shreveport. It was actually buzzing in Atlanta and made it that far. So only thing they had to do at that point was, put a little extra steroids on it and do the radio tricks that they know how to do back then. And it was to the moon. And shoot a big video and get it on 106 and Park. 106 and Park is what really took it to the next level. I don't think I had like stupid radio numbers or nothing like that. It's the fact that they had the budget to place me where I needed to be placed, and it just blew out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, the song reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah.
So here you are, 16 years old. You got a hit song. You're signed to a major label. I mean, you're on this roller coaster suddenly that you probably aren't ready for.
I'm not. They set me at the table with Ashanti, Nelly, Mary J. Blige, and I had just woke up. So I'm at the table looking like a sleepy kid, like people talking to me, speaking to me, just greeting me, telling me they like my music, and I'm not understanding how much these people like what I'm doing. So I'm used to a person possibly having something negative to say about you, coming from where I come from. So you put a wall up, and you're not showing your teeth, you're not smiling, you're not interacting as much as you should. So it was moments where they had to pull me to the side, like, "Yo, what's wrong with you? You good? You want to be here right now?" It was a process. I wasn't born like.
But you're a teenager. You're 16.
Yeah. A kid, real kid.
Yeah, you are an actual kid.
And I'm forced to do grown man things.
Right.
And act like a grown man.
Yeah, but then again, this is what you asked for. This is what you've been working towards since you were 10 years old.
So you can't complain. It come with it. You got to take the good with the bad with the good.
Okay, so the song becomes a hit, and you end up doing the remix.
Yeah, I did the remix.
And you got like everyone on it. Game, E40, Boosie, Jadakiss.
That's because they had that big budget. They had that bag. They had that real deal money. It wasn't no budget on it was no cap. When I did something, it was no max to what I could spend. That's why you seen 17 people on one remix. Man, all these people got bags. I'm talking about these $50,000, $60,000 verses a piece you hear. This remix might have came out to $500,000.
Right.
They were spending real money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, your money, actually, if you think about it.
Exactly.
Right. Because that's coming out of your budget.
Exactly. And you got to pay it all back.
You got to pay it all back.
That's a long story. I had to actually leave $300,000 that was owed to me in order to get out of my deal.
Okay. So this song comes out, huge hit. Remix comes out, does well. You dropped your second single, Hand Clap. How did that one do?
Hand Clap did good. It was a record that I wasn't really a part of. It was something the label kind of I got to the studio. They had one of my homeboys in the studio, in the booth. He was making a hook. They told me lay 2 verses on this. I laid 2 verses on it. I forgot about the song. We was chilling one day in LA or Miami, I think LA. And they said, we about to shoot the video of that song, Hand Clap. I was like, I don't even know the words to that. And we shot it. And actually the car we was riding around in on the video broke down in the middle of Los Angeles, me and Lil Scrappy. And we had to buy the car because we was renting from somebody and we burnt it out. It was an old school, we messed the engine up.
Okay.
That was my money too, like you said.
Yeah, your money once again. Okay, so then the first album comes out, 5150 Ratchet. Why that name, by the way?
Well, to be honest, Ratchet is something that my hometown created. If you ever hear the word Ratchet, that was created in Shreveport, Louisiana by a guy named Mandigo. He from my neighborhood. I wanted to name my album 5150. The label, they know how much the word Ratchet was associated with my hometown. So I said the name of the album is 5150. When I got the album cover, it said 5150 Ratchet on the bottom of it. So they didn't even ask me. Like, I bet.
Okay.
I guess that's what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So it comes out, debuts at number 24 on the Billboard 200, sells 60,000 its first week. Which was a solid first album.
Okay.
Once the album comes out and everything else like that, what starts to change?
Before the album came out, things started to change. And the change was the delay of the album. The album was delayed so long that it caused streams and sales to go down. They was milking A-Bay so hard trying to get every penny they can get out of A-Bay that they was forgetting about the entire album. I was doing interviews and DJs like DJ Greg Street was like, ask him what's up with the album. Just saying stuff like crazy stuff that I wasn't even ready to speak on and say. Just, some of it was hurting my feelings, but they was telling me what I needed to hear. They was like, yo, they messing over you on your album. I don't know when the album's supposed to drop. I don't know. Like, I'm just doing what I'm doing right now. I'm a kid. But, they delayed the album, and that's what started to change and make people start asking questions. So by the time the album came out, and you said the numbers was good, but I was expecting to do way more than that. So I don't think I was as intrigued with the numbers as everybody else was. My energy started shifting to the point of wanting to make sure that the real me was being put out, that you wasn't forcing me to give you 1 million A-Bay records. But I had no ear. I was forced to continue to keep giving out the same type of records. When I had thousands of other type of records, they shuffled them to the side and tried to put out the catchiest songs they could put out, the A-Bays, the Hand Claps, the Halle Berrys, And this is what started to mess with me mentally because I came from battle rapping and actually spitting, ripping people in half. You can't put nobody in front of me without them getting broke into 1,000 pieces with a 16. So it's like, I'm like, man, I ain't even doing what I really wanted to do. So my energy changing at this point. So I'm ready to speak up. I'm ready to speak out. So I did an interview one day. I had to do an interview in New York right before 106 in Park. When I did the interview, I spoke on everything that I just spoke on to you. I said, man, I don't know what's wrong. The record label delaying my album. I'm frustrated. This, that. All of a sudden, I get a call after the interview from the CEO, Brian Leach, telling me, if you got a problem, I make it to where you ain't even on 106 in Park no more. So I said what I said, and we got off the phone. That was when everything went downhill with me and Brian Leach.
Okay. And by the time that happened, Halle Berry had already come out?
No.
Okay, this is before Halle Berry.
Yeah, I had to go find Halle Berry on my own after he.
Okay, got it.
So after me and him had that situation, I said, okay, I'm gonna show you I don't need you. I went to Dallas, got with playing skills. some of the hottest producers around that time. They still doing their thing. Shout out to Playing Skills. Went in the studio and made a song. And actually, the cats in Dallas, they had already had this song popping. So what I did was, I went in the studio and I hopped on it. I put verses on it and I got on the hook with them and I changed up the hook a little bit. And I said, you know what, we're gonna put a bag behind this. What y'all wanna do business? How y'all wanna do this? I wanna make this my single. So I rapped all the way through the song and it was already moving. Them boys in Dallas had already been moving it. So it was like a gift given to me wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta always shout out Dallas and all of them boys who had anything to do with that, you know. So when they gave me the record, I called the label. I said, hey, I got another one. Let's do this. They said, nah, it ain't a hit. So I bet. I keep pushing the record. The record started going crazy. The label called me back like, hey, let's shoot the video to Halle Berry. I'm like, bet, all right. So we went to Dallas and we shot the video. So now we back in bed together.
Okay, now, correct me if I'm wrong. When that record first came out, it was called Halle Berry, but didn't it get changed to Miss Berry? And then
they
it
changed it
back,
so many times because they was wrapped up in the politics, and they used to say stuff like, well, Halle Berry she gonna sue us and she gonna do this. So let's just take Halle Berry name off of it and call it Miss Berry, and let's call it She's Fine, and that's what watered down the rap game and makes so many artists not want to do music because there's so many politics involved. It's Halle Berry. That's the name of the song, bro.
Right. Did Halle Berry actually have an issue with the song at all?
Never had an issue with the song. She was dancing to the song on Ellen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just the label kind of overreacting, I guess.
Doing what labels do, I guess, which is good in some cases and probably good in most cases. Just wasn't good in that case.
Around that time, you released your second album, Unleashed.
And I had already been disconnected with the label. So that album was simply them sending me to a studio for 2 weeks, working every day, 24 hours, probably getting to sleep 5 or 6 hours, to be honest with you, bro. I was working like a dog. So my mental space wasn't where it needed to be, and it wasn't an album that I was trying to put together. I was just trying to get it done because I had to get it done technically and business-wise. I don't even know what it sounded like. I didn't listen to it. I just know they had a bunch of songs, and they put an album together. This was not a project that I put together and mentally or wanted to put out or anything like that. Keep in mind, I already know what type of music I'm trying to put out.
Well, the second album doesn't do as well as the first one.
No. You want to know why, or do you know why?
Tell me why.
So the second album, I was already disconnected with the label. From what I just told you, you pretty much can figure out we already had a big disconnection, and we only came back together because I gave them that single. So they was only trying to put together enough songs to throw out to try to juice some more money off me. They didn't care about what kind of look I got or, how we was actually going about it to give me the best look possible. It was a rush situation, and they threw the project out. They didn't wait until I had the proper buzz to throw it out. And that's what happened. It wasn't a project that I put together mentally. It was something that they sent me in the studio for like 2 weeks straight with a bunch of producers, and I just did a bunch of recording. I didn't even pay attention to most of the stuff I was recording or saying because I wasn't comfortable in the situation no more at that point. So it was just a bunch of songs they had, bro.
Okay, and then that next year you ended up leaving the label.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said you left $300,000 on the table when you left?
Yeah, it wasn't just me leaving. It was actually them not responding to me, not giving me communication for me to know what I needed to do to keep moving on with my career. So what happened was, by the time I did what I needed to do to get his attention, he told me that as long as everything was fair, that we was good. And I was owed like 300 racks. around that time. So I pretty much knew that meant, you know, I was gonna lose the money and he was just gonna let bygones be bygones. I just wanted to move on. Like, that 300 racks ain't nothing.
Well, I'm not sure when you said this exactly, but you were saying that at one point your spending was just getting out of control and you were actually blowing through like 300 or 400,000 in a month.
I was spending stupid money at one point. I was young and I thought money grew on trees.
Right.
If you think money grow on trees, then you're gonna spend it like it grow on trees.
Yeah.
I didn't check my accounts every day. I was a kid. All I know is I'm getting stupid guap for these shows. I'm getting stupid guaps off of these sales, these streams. I can buy a Lamborghini. I know I can buy a big $1 million house. I know I can buy this type of stuff, so I must be living good. I ain't a businessman. I'm a kid, you know. My people didn't come from banking and knowing exactly what to do with a whole lot of paper either. So it was pretty much us in a situation for the first time.
Oh yeah, no. The first time you get money, I remember the first time I got money, I blew it all. I went broke. Yeah,
Hey.
I feel you.
Yeah.
And I was older than you at the time, so
Yeah.
I have less of an excuse.
Okay, so you made me
know
feel
what I mean?
better. I ain't the only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we all do it. Every time you start getting a lot of money, you just feel like, okay, well, this is the money I'm going to get for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
so you act accordingly. You spend it before you even get it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally feel your pain. It wasn't until years later that I actually figured out how to handle big sums of money. So when you talk about blowing 400,000 in a month, like when you look back at some of the craziest purchases, like what were some of those things where you're like, I can't believe I just spent that much money on that? You know, as you're older now.
Going to the jeweler and not even paying attention to how much money I spent until probably like 3 days later. Like, and then I realized I just spent like over $160,000 on a watch and 2 chains that I don't even need and a little bit of charm. You know, like just stupid stuff that a kid wants.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Okay, so you end up leaving Polo Grounds and J Records. So then you're independent and you start dropping projects. You know, you dropped Bend It Over in 2012. You put out a mixtape in 2013. Caniac? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah. Actually, all of those projects was being thrown out by people that really believe in me, and I was just feeding like some of my good business partners music that I had stored, and they were just putting out music just to let people know, you know, that I still spit that real deal, you know. So at that point, I still wasn't invested into music. It was just throwing out stuff.
Right, because in 2014 you put out Ratchet and it had Boosie on it.
Yeah, I did that for fun. I did that just for fun. Like, I just did that. Me and Boosie wanted to do a record. We was hanging out at his house. We just recorded it. He was in Shreveport. We shot the video. It wasn't a lot of thinking to it, you know. And the record actually did good on Worldstar. They premiered it.
Yeah, man, I love Boosie. He's a regular guest on my show, and
That's my
he
dog.
always does
You know, I
huge numbers.
I came up with him. Like, I've been knowing him since I was probably like about 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
That young?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to all his houses, you know. Yeah. Not recently, but I'm saying like back when we was younger, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and when he first moved to Atlanta.
Well, I mean, you're putting out your own records, but from what I understand, you were also ghostwriting for other rappers.
Yeah, I was doing stuff. I was doing ghostwriting. I don't know if a lot of the stuff I signed, I also signed contracts saying I couldn't say that I wrote, or I wouldn't receive, or I would lose publishing and royalties. But I did a lot of stuff for a lot of female rappers and a few dudes. Yeah. I can tell you, I wrote a song for Mike Jones. I gave him Drop and Give Me 50. I ain't signed no.
Oh, okay.
I can talk about that.
Dope.
But you know, like a lot of big artists, they're gonna make you shut your mouth.
Okay. I mean, were you making real money from ghostwriting?
I wouldn't say I was making as much money as I was making off my music. It was just something really to do to let people know who I was as an artist, you know, to grow myself as an artist. I didn't look at it as a way to make money. I looked at it as a way to develop myself to be able to make money in the future. Every time I wrote songs for people, I didn't charge them. Sometimes I just gave away ideas.
There you go. All right. Well, then 2015, you put out Sections with a Ty Dolla $ign.
Ty Dolla $ign, yep.
Yeah.
I went to
and,
I went to LA with Jazz Prince, Jay Prince's son. And he cool with Ty Dolla $ign, so we were just chilling in the studio and we made that song in probably like 15 minutes.
Right. And that same year, 2015, you put out your Hurricane Season mixtape. And that actually had some real bangers on it. DJ Mustard produced on it, Hitmaker, aka Young Berg, Drummer Boy. So, you know, it seemed like even by this time, you were still getting support from the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in terms of like serious industry dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's probably because I was still putting out big bulks of music. I was still putting out like 20-song projects, mixtapes and stuff like that. I was still feeding them.
Well, that same year, you kind of weighed in on the whole Meek Mill Drake beef.
What did I say?
I think you said something to the effect of, I don't understand why motherfuckers get to a certain level and start beefing with each other on records. Like, you know, people are killing each other where I'm from and y'all are millionaires and beefing with each other. I just don't get it.
Oh yeah, I went through a phase where I didn't want to see no rap beef. I was sick of every rap beef. I didn't want to see no rap beef at one point. Like I used to get so frustrated with seeing people come at each other when I felt like power moves needed to be made. You know, people needed to be bossing up together. It's just in me, you know, to want to bring people together. If you arguing with somebody in the house too much around me, the next thing you know, y'all both gonna be arguing with me. I just don't like the energy. I'm gonna be telling y'all need to stop that shit, bro. Stop.
Well, I mean, you say you don't like rap beef, but then 2 years later, you drop Don't Play With Me, which was a Kodak Black diss record.
Oh, man.
Right? Am I right?
Man, I love Kodak. I love Kodak Black. I was just bumping him on the way here. Man, I make you sick bumping Kodak Black. You'll be like, turn that off. So now he was joking with Wayne, and I just was joking back with him on the internet, and we were just BSing. Nah, hell nah, I love Kodak. We were just BSing on the internet, man. We were never serious with it. And they titled that song like that. I didn't even title it no Kodak Black diss. I sent the song in. I think whoever I got to send the video in, they titled it like that before Worldstar posted it. I ain't gonna say Worldstar did it, but whoever I got to send the video in, the publicist or whoever I had that had a connect with Worldstar, they titled it themselves. Kodak Black diss. But Kodak, man, be jamming. I love Kodak Black.
Okay, right, because it says Kodak Black diss right there on the Worldstar YouTube channel, right? So I mean, if it wasn't a diss record, couldn't you gotten it removed, or were you like, fuck it?
Nah, it was already funny. Everything funny at this point.
Okay.
I'm like, I ain't finna say nothing. Get it however you want it. Like, do whatever you want to do with it. You didn't see this man on Instagram with his phone out saying, hey, baby, hey, laughing. And I'm on there laughing, doing push-ups. It's comedy, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, and at one point, Kodak Black, I think, challenged Lil Wayne to a fist fight over the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
Like Tidal or something. And,
yeah, but
you had worked.
Go ahead.
Well, and you had worked with Wayne before.
Yeah. That's my dog.
On the Getting Money remix.
That's my dog. That's my personal homeboy. Like, I could pull up at Wayne's house unannounced. The security guards gonna pull out their guns, and then they're gonna see it's me and just get out the way.
Okay, there you have it. I just assumed that, like, when I read it and then when I, saw the whole thing, I just figured, okay, this is just you riding for Louisiana. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it wasn't serious. Actually, he just dropped a record where he's talking about how much he honored Lil Wayne. I was just listening to that yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm from where it's really serious. You got to think, he from where it's really serious. If it was really serious, we wouldn't be laughing, playing like that. You can kind of tell,
Well, speaking of serious, a situation happened on June 19th, 2020.
Yeah, very, very, very unfortunate situation.
Well, number one, before I ask my next series of questions, is that whole situation worked out or is it ongoing?
It's an ongoing case.
It's an ongoing case.
Yes, the case is awaiting trial to be set.
Okay. All right. Well, then let me approach this a little bit differently then. Okay. So, and you don't have to comment on this because like you said, this is an ongoing case, but I'm going to just read from the reports. So on June 19th, 2020, there was a situation that the police said happened at a Texaco convenience store where, according to you, a man tried to, I guess, rob your car and you shot in self-defense.
That
This man ended up dying.
That doesn't even make sense. You just said two different things. If somebody is robbing a car, how is it self-defense? That's two different things. So you
Correct.
I'm the only person who can tell you, what happened. You can't listen to the statements that was given to you, nothing that Jim Bob wrote up. That's all just he say, she say. So somebody was actually breaking into my vehicle. Had I actually broke into the vehicle, I approached him, told him to step away from the vehicle. He would not leave the vehicle. I repeated, please leave the vehicle. He would not leave the vehicle, put his hand in his pocket, position himself towards me like this, like I'm looking at you. Stop, please, do not reach, step away. And then, in a faster motion, he dove into his pocket. At that point, I was forced to protect myself and fear for my life.
As you should. As you should. Ultimately, the man passed away. And you're being charged with second-degree murder right now?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Insane. Okay. So you ended up getting a $500,000 bond?
Yep. And anybody else who's ever had a situation like that, it's been $250. They doubled the bond. And then they said, hey, he got a lot of businesses. Let's try to raise the bond. So that's what I was hit with.
Okay. So you bonded out.
Yep.
And I assume at this point, they've been offering you plea deals.
Nope.
No plea deals?
Nope.
Okay. Well, your attorney made a statement. He said the prayers of Mr. Dooley are with the family of the deceased as well as his own family at this time. He is confident that at the end of a thorough and just investigation of this incident, his name will be cleared.
Yeah, I'm 100% positive that my name will be clear. Just like I just told you it happened, that's exactly how it happened. And they got video. I got the video. The store people got the video. The detectives got the video. I cannot tell you why detectives decide to make arrests. That's something I cannot tell you. But what I can tell you is what can be proven in the law of court and what cannot.
Do you have a trial date?
No. This is something that they pretty much just jumped out in the middle of the streets on, and this is not looking good for them. So there's
no actual trial date. That's interesting.
This has not even had a court date. I haven't even had a court date. I've had judges throw this case out of their courtroom and everything.
Okay. Did they tell you in the worst case situation how much time you're facing?
I haven't had to even sit down or court date or anything like that. Like
Nothing. Okay.
This happened. Look how long ago is that?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about last year.
You are. The detective put the system in a bad situation.
Yeah.
He put the system in a bad situation. He made a move that he really shouldn't have made when they arrested me and charged me.
Well, here you are, 32 years old, and you know what happened. Mm-hmm. You have the tape of what happened. Mm-hmm. But you also understand in America, especially as a black man, especially in the South, how things sometimes go in a court of law. It's not always fair. It's not always just. Having this hang over your head as you wake up every morning and, you see your kids and everything else like that, and you go on with your life. Do you feel the pressure of this, or do you just feel completely confident that it's going to go away?
You damn right I feel the pressure of it. I feel the pressure every day, every morning, every night. Yeah. Yeah. But pressure don't bust pipes with me. I don't fold under pressure either. Yeah. Yeah, it's real deal. It's real life. It ain't a movie. When real life hits you, it ain't like watching TV. You gotta deal with this. Sometimes you're in a good mood, sometimes you're in a bad mood. Anytime you just think about it, if your mom scolded you for something that you didn't do. It's actually your brother's fault. It's that feeling, You know when you're right and you know when you're wrong. And I know I'm 100% right, and I know that with the legal team I got, and to be honest, with the circumstances, period, I'm gonna be totally clear of this. Totally, 100%. It ain't gonna be I didn't break not one law, period. I'm not a convicted felon. I never been arrested. I never had a misdemeanor. I never been charged with spitting gum on the sidewalk. Everything legal, legit. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that. I mean, following your whole career, you're not one of these guys that were getting arrested, getting in trouble, getting into fights. Like, there wasn't a bunch of drama associated with you. You're not dissing people on records. Even the Kodak Black thing, how you explained, was just, not even a real thing. Yeah, man, you were just a straight and narrow rapper.
Yeah. I like
musician.
I like making music, making people laugh, having a good time, going to cookouts, stuff like that, man. Putting on some cold shoes and not getting them stepped on.
Yeah. Well, and here you are facing, the most serious situation in your life right now.
But I mean, you gotta think about it like this. They killed Martin Luther King. They killed Malcolm X. They hung Jesus up and beat him. So who are we to say what we will and what we won't have to face? Nobody told us that tough times and hard times was over and finished. Nobody told us the world was fixed. We're not the first people to go through nothing that we're going through. Whatever we're going through, people before us went through it for us. They went through it before us. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't look at it personal. You understand what I'm saying? I know I serve a higher power that he give me a type of confidence that nothing on earth can't really bother me. You feel what I'm saying? I have my days, but all I got to do is get on my knees. When I get on my knees and get close to where I'm supposed to be, I just got that feeling I know I'm untouchable. And I know at the end of the day, I never did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong in the entire situation. You can't find not one step of nothing that I did wrong.
Well, I mean, the way you made it sound, the fact that you don't have a plea deal on the table right now, there's no court date, there's no nothing, it makes it sound like they're just trying to, I don't know, I guess pray for something might come up later on that they could actually help their case, which sounds like there's no real case. So at least you could look at that, but, still going through that and having that hang over your head every day, I could only imagine the pressure that you're going through.
Yeah, nobody should have to go through nothing like that, especially if they was only protecting themselves and fear for their life or somebody around them.
Yeah, and I've interviewed a number of people who killed people in self-defense. Interviewed the baby.
Okay.
How was that? What's that?
How was that?
It was what it was. Someone rolled up on him, at a Walmart and pulled a pistol on him. He was with his family, and he did what he had to do. I would have done the same thing.
Hey, Man, you don't want to get in an unfortunate situation. You just pray that you can be safe when you leave your house, man. You know, you got a lot of crazy people out here. You got people that will do you harm, people that don't care about life, period. You feel me? And then you got a judicial system. Let me tell you something about the system. I want to tell you something. This is how a grand jury convict you. So they're gonna talk to the grand jury on their behalf, not on your behalf. They're gonna put evidence in front of the grand jury and say, Vlad walked outside, slapped the lady, kicked the lady and punched the lady, and got in his car and drove off. What they are not obligated to do is to say that Vlad got out of his car, a lady punched him, kicked him, cut him with a knife, then he punched her, kicked her, and spit on her and got in his car and drove off. The grand jury who is convicting us, the grand jury who is indicting us, they are not obligated to give the evidence that will clear us. They are only obligated to show evidence that will hang us. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
We are still living in a Jim Crow era. This is a racial system set up to kill us. It's crazy. Louisiana is the only state, and one of the only states, that they just had to change the law to where now they got to have all 12 jurors saying you guilty before they can convict you. They just
Before
changed
that,
it. They just
before
made that the law.
What was it? It was majority? It was a 7?
They just made that the law.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. 'Cause,
Louisiana.
that's how you get hung juries everywhere else. If one person out of the 12 says, no, I don't believe he's guilty, then it ends up being a mistrial and a hung jury, and you have to start all over again.
They just making this the law. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Boosie has been a regular guest on my show, and he was on death row at one point.
I heard Meek Mill say he doing a lot of criminal reform. That's somebody need to pay attention to that. The way that they are indicting people, we're only showing the evidence that will only indict them, and they can possibly have evidence that will clear them, but they're not obligated to show that. They can't do that. That's crazy. Somebody got to change that law.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about the way it should work, is that if you're trying to get a grand jury indictment, well, then the police should go and present their evidence, and then your lawyer should present your evidence, and then so they can see both sides before making the decision.
You're not even invited.
Yeah, you're not even invited.
You're not invited. That's like me going to your mama and you stay in your room and I'm finna go tell your mama everything you did, and you can't come out here and say nothing for yourself. And then she gonna make a decision based on what I say. You ain't finna get to speak your side of the story. So at that point, the trial don't matter because you already had basically a pre-trial to pre-convict somebody.
Right. And then to make matters worse, 95% of the cases don't go to trial because most people just plead out.
Exactly.
Because they'll tell you, okay, look, you're facing 20 years, but take this 2 years, even though you didn't do it, but take this 2 years to avoid the 20. And most people take it.
Crazy, bro. That is crazy. That's crazy. We got to do something to change this system, bro. You got Hurricane Chris, A-Bay, hand clapping Halle Berry. I'm a good guy, man. We just got a bad system. And it's maybe God do what he do to choose who he choose to lead what they need to lead to make changes, however God need to use me, I'm here for that.
There you have it. Well, listen, Hurricane Chris, man, congrats on the accomplishments in your career. Congrats on the hit singles. People always like to downplay hit singles like everyone could have one. When
what?
99% of people have no hit singles.
Man, my son gonna cash A-Bay checks way after I'm gone.
Right.
My son gonna be cashing A-Bay hand clap Halle Berry checks way after I'm gone. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that money don't never stop. And now we finna drop some more hits.
Exactly. So you already have a string of hits, you have a catalog, and now you're facing the most serious situation in your life right now. But, you're taking it seriously. You understand the repercussions, and it seems like you're confident in what happened and how it's going to work out.
I'm so confident. I'm so confident I done ran my M's back up. As soon as they tried to take all my money, I ran them M's right up, Vlad. I'm stronger right now than I was when I had a baby. On God. Yeah.
There you go, man. There you go. So I'm looking forward to, getting the news that everything's been dropped, that you can go on with your life.
And then
that's what I'm looking forward to.
And then maybe it's a little more we could talk about at that point.
There you go.
I think I got a lot more we could talk about at that point.
There we go. Hurricane Chris, man, I appreciate you coming in and telling me.
Hey, I want to ask you something, Vlad, before you leave.
Let's do it.
What you think about Lil Nas?
What I think about Lil Nas?
Yeah.
Listen, man, I think that, number one, right now he's winning.
Yeah.
You can't discount that at all. Yeah. Right now he is absolutely winning. And at the end of the day, I predicted, if you look at the VladTV catalog from 10 years ago, like interviews I've had with Fat Joe back in the day and everyone else, I predicted that Lil Nas was going to be inevitable in hip hop. At some point, yeah.
Bro, I never thought hip hop would ever get to this point.
I'd been predicting it. I said at some point there's going to be an out of the closet gay rapper with hit songs, and it's going to be accepted, and it just is what it is.
Man,
you know what I mean?
You got to be able to read the future. If you thought that was the total opposite of what I thought, because I always thought it was a masculine, manly, dominated type sport. You feel what I'm saying? Man, I watched the VH1 Awards or whatever I forgot. It was some award show I watched the other day. Yo, bro is coming out. The more they say about him, he doing more.
Yeah.
It's like the more they say about him, he going even crazier and harder.
Man, listen, I just did a poll. I just did a poll on my Twitter. I said, who is the biggest hip hop troll in hip hop? I said Lil Nas X, 50 Cent, Kanye West, or who's the third person?
50 Cent a real troll.
50 Cent is a real troll. Hold on. Who's the third person that I named? I gotta get the right name here. Or Soulja Boy. I said Lil Nas X, 50 Cent, Soulja Boy, or Kanye West. Who's the biggest troll in hip hop right now? Lil Nas X is in first place right now.
You're right. Ain't nobody messing with him as far as trolling.
Ain't no one messing with. Yo, listen, I just interviewed Pastor Troy the other day, right? And Pastor Troy went at Lil Nas X. And he did this whole thing, was like,
you better not go at Lil Nas X. Boy, you go at Lil Nas X, it's over for you. Say something about him if you want to. You crazy.
Listen.
Ask me something about him. Ask me about him. Watch what I say. Ask me something about him right now.
Okay, well, tell me something about Lil Nas X.
Shout out Lil Nas X. Play with yourself if you want to. Them folks are standing up for what they believe in, and they done already said they standing up for what they believe in. You better just mind your business and don't say nothing.
Right. No, Pastor Troy, he went on a tirade after Lil Nas X had like the pink cowboy suit, I think at the Grammys. He was like, man, if this is what it takes to be the Grammys, fuck this shit. He goes through this whole story on Twitter about me and my son were at Applebee's and a couple of gay dudes was feeding mozzarella sticks to each other. My son said, fuck Applebee's, and left. And then
where they from?
You said, well, I guess I won't be winning a Grammy if this is how what I gotta wear.
Yeah.
You love to push this shit on our kids. The other day at Applebee's, had some punks kissing and laughing, eating mozzarella sticks. First thing my 14-year-old son said was, fuck Applebee's.
Yeah.
It brought joy to my heart.
Yeah.
He sees it, their agenda to take the masculinity from men, black men especially. Some may say he making money. RuPaul did too, but I ain't bumping his CD. Integrity is priceless. Y'all better open that third eye and let your sons know what is real, or their ass gonna be headed down that old town road for real.
yeah, that's what I said. Okay, man.
Where they from?
Georgia, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
That should be normal to them then.
It's normal, exactly. And then Lil Nas X responded to Pastor Troy, was like, Pastor Troy, when he sees dudes eating mozzarella sticks, and it's like, not on my watch. Like, not on my watch.
Man, you better stay in your place. Stay in your place, man. The folks have to be played with.
Look at the baby.
I don't play with women. Like I don't beef with women. I don't beef with gay people. boy, they know how to fight on a whole nother level. They fight for real, dirty. They play how they play. I do not beef with women. I don't beef with gay people, bro. They
Yeah. Look at how many huge shows the baby got canceled after those comments.
Man, yeah, that's crazy. I hate that for the baby. I don't think he really meant no harm. He probably was just hyped up in the moment, just doing his thing on stage, you feel me? But it just played out bad, man. I pray for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, man, look, the reality is,
I doubt
I'm just going to say, sorry.
I doubt he grew up on some crazy hating gay people type stuff. I don't think he grew up like, come on, because you can't just go around like openly. Come on, bro. What do you think this is? Who just walking around telling people, oh, I hate you because you get, nobody do that.
Well, listen, man, I think the reality is right now, I mean, since we're talking about it, is that whoever, at some point there were gatekeepers in hip hop, the major labels pretty much were the gatekeepers. They decided who came out and who didn't, who got the publicity and who didn't. But in 2021, there really, with the internet, there is no gatekeepers. Whoever the fans want to listen to, that person becomes popping. Yeah. Even if they're not generally accepted by the hip hop community. Look at Tekashi 6ix9ine. If you would have told me, now this one surprised me. If you would have told me, listen, there's going to be a rapper who's going to be affiliated with a gang, then he's going to tell on that gang, put everyone in prison for like 100 years put together, and he's going to come out and have hit songs. I would have been like, nah, that's not going to happen.
But do he still have his songs though?
I mean, he had songs that reacted.
So the fans still like, his show's still packed and like they still rocking with him?
Yeah. He's doing big show. He's doing packed shows. Like his songs ran up numbers. You can't just say no one's fucking with Tekashi. He's dead. Like he's a dead artist. Nah, like he's making money. He's doing his thing. He's doing numbers. He's doing. I've seen shows like that he performed at. You know what I mean? And this dude and hip hop, I think has been, there's always been a gay element in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? There's been gay executives, gay producers, artists have been in the closet. Snitching has always been something that I think hip hop has always frowned upon as a whole.
Yeah. They always frown upon snitching.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But look, you go to 2021.
Not just hip hop though. I think it's the urban culture period. Urban culture period. People of a certain class, people of a certain income just don't believe in pulling each other down, and they tend to stick to those codes a little more. Yeah.
And this is something that's not even like, you get these stories, oh, so-and-so has paperwork. Oh, here's some paperwork. And the person says, oh, that's fake or whatever. No, like he got on the stand. We have the audio of him actually naming the people. Tekashi he put a hit out on somebody and then told on the person who actually did the shooting.
He put a hit out on somebody and told on the person that did the shoot. So he was, it's like, it sounded like you a police already and you just.
Right, and he walked away and that person got like 5 years. Yeah, it was the chief.
He probably was already a police before he did that. They probably told him, get the gang off the streets first.
There you go.
Why would you do that? That's crazy. They got caught or something?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why he told that he did it.
Well, there's a video of him actually doing, like it was on TMZ. He actually, he was beefing with like Chief Keef, and he's like, oh, I got 20,000 for whoever, for whoever does the shooting. Like it's actually on film. And then the dude who he's talking to ends up shooting at Chief Keef, Kodak B, and Kodak B I think got sentenced like 5 or 7 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
And Tekashi testified against him. That's like me selling you a kilo of cocaine.
It's like you selling,
and then calling the police and saying,
"Hey, him a kilo of cocaine, not me."
Right? Okay. Let's say I sold Tekashi a kilo of cocaine, and then I call and said, "Hey, I know some dudes out here who are drug dealing, and I know because I sold it to them. Now go arrest them and have me walk free, even though I'm part of the drug deal." Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, in hip hop, Tekashi is still. I mean, listen, Nicki Minaj did a song with him as soon as he got out.
Yeah, because
you can't name a bigger female rapper than Nicki Minaj.
Well, females, they don't look at stuff the same way dudes look at it.
Yeah, but she's still hip hop.
Man, Yeah, but she's still a female, and think about it. What you see when a dude snitch, he get out of jail, and he still had the baddest females. They still all over him. You see that? They don't run away from him. You never saw a female say, "We not messing with dude because he a rat." They not involved in that. They not selling nothing or doing nothing, so it don't matter to them. He probably finna take them shopping.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think the point of all this, because you brought up the whole Lil Nas X thing, is that look, there's really no rules anymore. Whatever premonitions you had about this art form, it doesn't really apply anymore because it's run by kids worldwide who don't care about snitching, who don't care about homosexuality or whatever else. If they like the song and they gravitate towards it, the views will go up, people will go to the shows, and the business continues. So whatever no-nos we thought we had or whatever, I just assume they're just not there anymore.
Because when you think about it, we're not as strict as our parents were with us, with our kids. We're more relaxed. It's not the same world. You're right. You couldn't put that in better words.
Yeah. So whatever it is, man, whatever the next generation does, it doesn't surprise me anymore.
Just if they want to play Fortnite, just shut up and let them play it.
Yeah.
Get out their way.
There you go. If you want to be a gay rapper, if you want to be a snitch rapper, at some point you're going to have a poppin' transgender rapper, I'm sure.
Man, you want to see all this crazy stuff, Vlad?
I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm just saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's gonna happen. It's gonna listen. I'm a straight man. Like, listen, I love women, but at the end of the day, I just know that this is gonna happen at some point. You're gonna have all the shit that you think you're not gonna see. Eventually, it will happen if everything lines up. Because at the end of the day, Lil Nas X didn't come out as a gay rapper, right? Old Town Road, he's talking about cheating on his girl in Old Town Road.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
And then after that song becomes the biggest song almost ever, like that was definitely the biggest song of the year.
Yeah.
Then at that point, he comes out the closet.
Surprise.
Gotcha. And it gets even bigger. You know what I mean? Gets even bigger. So listen, man, if Lil Nas X wants to do what he wants to do,
let him do his thing.
It is what it is. Let him do his thing, man. Let him live his life.
Hey, man, we're not here to hate nobody and judge nobody.
Nah.
We can't do that. Nah.
Absolutely not, man. Listen, I have gay people in my family. I have gay people, who work for me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if that's your lifestyle, man, I support it. It's your thing. I'm not going to discriminate against it. You should be allowed to, present yourself the way you want to do it. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me. It's your thing. And like I said in the very beginning of this part of the conversation, was Lil Nas X is winning right now.
And you don't know what these people go through mentally either. So you always want to be easy on how you handle people. You don't know what they got going on in their mind or what they've been through or they struggle. If I don't know your struggle, I just try to be cool and don't try to judge your struggle because I got, you know what I'm saying? I got struggles of my own. You feel what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
I keep forgetting to do the stuff I'm supposed to do, like take the trash out. You feel me? That's my struggle. Don't judge me.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it out when I get ready. You feel me?
Yeah, and being a gay man in America is a struggle.
Hey, but I like cat. I like cat, though.
Me too.
I'm over here on the P team.
Right. Me too. But, but think about it, though. I mean, you also have Frank Ocean, who came out of the closet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's popping. His next album is going to be huge. Tyler, the Creator, he's pretty much come out the closet.
Yeah, Tyler, the Creator? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's gay as well.
I never really heard his music. I seen pictures of him on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, he's gay as well, and he's winning. I mean, he got Grammys. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, listen, you do your own thing, you create your own fan base, and as long as the music itself is honest and good, you're going to keep growing with it, and you're going to have people who are going to support you. And some people not going to like it. Some people are going to like it. And I think the way that the Lil Nas is handling it, I think is dope. Instead of like being defensive and attacking people and whatever, you know what I mean? He makes jokes about mozzarella sticks. Like, you know what I mean? He turns around and dresses up like Nicki Minaj. He pretends to be pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? He's the ultimate troll, and he's winning with that shit.
But he could, but it could be hurting him. He could be depressed about what people saying. So You still
I'm
just
sure it
gotta
does
make
hurt.
sure you just don't say too much mean stuff to people, you know, because
Yeah.
people are hurt themselves based off what you're saying, you know. Just
I'm sure he's very hurt. I'm sure his feelings are extremely
It's a
hurt when
kid,
he
bro.
reads.
That's a kid.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah,
kid.
it's a young guy.
Yeah.
It's a young guy, man. I'm sure he's hurt. But at the end of the day, when you have millions of dollars in your bank account, you're not quite as hurt as the broke dude.
Straight up. For real. At the Ferrari dealership.
You know, when you're crying in your mansion, you know,
real.
it's not quite as bad as crying in the studio apartment.
Oh God, you ain't
You
lying.
know?
You ain't never
So that's
lying.
what it is.
For real.
That's
for
what it
real.
is.
The real deal.
Yep. Yep. And like J. Cole said, if you're laughing at a millionaire, the joke's on you.
For real. So don't laugh at me, because the joke is on you.
There you go. There you go. Hurricane Chris, man, congrats on everything. I wish you all the best in your upcoming legal situation, man. It sounds like you have it under control, and it sounds like it's going to work out cool, man. So,
God
said,
got everything under control, Vlad. We ain't in control. God in control. Yeah.
There we go.
Stay
There you
prayed
go,
up.
man. Wish you all the best. Until next time. Peace.